Talk Uncensored. I am your host, Akayshia, Estee.
And I'm April Hogan.
And we are here once again.
Yes, so I get so excited as I see our content build up.
Right.
We're not new to this. We're true to this.
We are. That's what they say. That's what they say.
They say. A couple of phrases that we are pretty consistent on saying on the show. So you guys see we got a little bit of a different setup.
Yes. I
So we switch it up a lot.
She be decorating. This her thing. I come in and it's just totally switched around.
It just really honestly,
but I love it.
Yeah,
it
and honestly,
so nice.
Oh, and I just noticed we're sitting on.
Yeah. But this is what we see.
Yeah. I know. So my thing is honestly, I didn't want to put up the backdrop, but I am one who always switches stuff up anyway, so it just makes it good. I know.
I'm witnessing.
Right.
Now I am, yeah.
Even at home, I'm one that I change helps me feel like it's new. So, absolutely.
Feels good.
Okay, so we have a couple of great topics today.
We do.
But before we get into our topics, we have a highlight.
We're going to highlight someone close to me and dear to me. Bum, bum, bum. So I'm going to highlight my mom who does amazing salads. We call it Tasties. You can find her on Facebook, of course, under Akayshia Deshawn. And the salads are great. They are
great.
She's had one.
So this is one that I can co-sign because I have had a salmon salad.
Oh yeah, that's my favorite one.
Oh my gosh,
that is my favorite one. I cannot if I go backwards to the I call them regular salads because those are her regular ones with you can get turkey, ham, and you can get them double meat. Mm-hmm. They got all kind of fruit in them.
Oh my gosh, and that was what I was gonna say.
Yeah, so the mixture.
I had strawberries, mangoes, because one of them I was eating it, and I was like, "What is this?" She goes, "Oh, it's a mango." What? Oh my gosh, you guys, you need one
and
of
the
these
presentation.
Salads. It's beautiful. It looks like
which is gonna be in a magazine.
Which is originally the reason I wanted it wasn't based on it being a salad. It was based on the fact that I saw the picture on her page, and it was like, oh my gosh,
it was pretty.
Those look really good.
But here's the crazy thing: she actually when she cooks, she makes her food pretty anyway. Mm-hmm.
Okay, well,
had me hating because by the time I was in high school, I was like, why you fix me? Why you fix me nothing like that? It looked good, so I want to eat it too.
Right.
What's wrong with you?
Right, share it well, mama.
So, I've had her shrimp and grits.
I'm gonna have to taste it.
They're good too.
I'm gonna have to taste it. Yeah. And she bought. So one time here at the office, Akayshia bought in some beet salad. BEET, beets. And
yes.
y'all know, don't nobody like no beets.
Nobody.
Beet salad.
But
so of course,
you couldn't taste it
before she even tried it. So
I had her taste it first.
Come try this with me real quick. You gonna try this with me?
You bite it first.
So of course, gullible me. It was so good though.
Yeah, we split it.
You couldn't even taste the beets. You couldn't even tell there were beets in it. So you guys, she takes orders.
Right.
Order you some food.
All you gotta do is go on Facebook, send her a message. She will respond. She will respond, and as long as you got your orders in by a certain time, wherever her deadline is, you will have your salad. She will be on time to the meeting location. Let me tell y'all,
it's almost like
Mama's on time.
Like having your very own meal prep person, right?
Mm-hmm.
Come on. Yeah. All y'all who work long hours.
And the salmon is cooked fresh. It's
right.
cooked to order. And
you're trying to eat healthy because fast food isn't healthy, and it's always easier to just get something quick. So now you don't have to cook, but you can bring something to your body that is healthy and tasty,
and it's very well balanced too as well. You got the fruit, you got the
veggies, the protein.
Yes. You can probably make 2 meals out of it too.
Yeah, because it's
how
big
it is.
Yeah, because I actually had to take my salad and I ate half of it, and then I ate the rest of it for dinner.
Well, my story is about my salmon salad. I force eat mine in one session.
All right, so we're gonna talk about this. So this one, when I say the word hungry, she is the hungriest person. We do not have a conversation. I don't remember a day we've ever talked and you not been hungry at some point. Did we talk?
But here's the thing.
But the thing is, but she barely said she's hungry. I'm starving.
And I get mad at my kids and talking about they starving. You are not starving. You're not starving. I'd be so mad.
Yeah, so
you're hungry.
So if you ever are one that if you like to eat, this is a good friend to have because
I'm gonna have you trying a lot of things.
We be talking about business. I'd be like, okay, we're gonna meet for this. And she, oh, okay. We can meet for brunch. Oh, yeah.
What you want to talk about?
Right, like
I eat first, then I start talking business.
Right. But I love that about her. I absolutely love that about her. Yeah, and actually it's funny because my goddaughter, Cassidy Forrester, shout out to you, baby girl. We always make fun of her because when she eats, she dances. She's a plate.
That mean the food either she's hungry to the point where she's like, yes.
Every time she just,
or if she already took one bite, that mean the food jumping.
And Ariel, the other day, she started singing while she was. I said, y'all, it's a mess. Oh, y'all greedies. So, y'all,
changer.
Akayshia, tasties. It's time to try it. Get your plate. Okay. So real quick. I want to talk, we have two topics, and I'm actually going to announce the topics here at the beginning, both of them, because I noticed in the last 2 episodes, I forgot the topics in both episodes.
So we're going to let her announce this. Yeah, we are.
Yeah. So, the first one is Breaking Generational Curses. I got it. The other one is Parenting 101, and you're going to get it from two great parents.
I might wear my glasses like this for the parenting part. That's my wise.
Is it your wise?
Yeah.
That's the wisdom.
Yeah.
That's the wisdom part.
That's me being wise.
Yes. So I've already remembered them at the beginning. So I'm saying this with a serious face. When we get into the second topic, if I don't remember, just know that I remembered it at the beginning.
She did. You witnessed it.
Absolutely. And since we're at the beginning, I do want to talk about the fact that this is our 5th episode. Or 6th. Y'all see the 5th or 6th.
Actually, I feel like we're losing count now because
the last one
I'm consistent.
Yes. So it's either the 5th or the 6th episode. It's one of those. During this first season, our goal is to have 9. Then we rebrand for our relaunch. And when we relaunch, we are planning on having live audience time.
We are.
And we are so excited about that.
I'm excited.
Yes, me too. So we'll be able to engage. But prior to that, we're doing this in steps. And I'm telling you guys this because we're both business owners. So we understand that sometimes you do things in steps. So we're doing pre-recorded first. Then we'll move into doing some live online shows.
Right.
And then we'll move into a live audience where now we're not just asking questions on the online, but we get to engage with our audience in person. And I am so super stoked about that. And for all those that we've already told, we're not going to do it at lunchtime on Wednesdays. We're going to do it in the evening so you guys can come, and then it'll just air at that time. So,
of course, that's going to be jumping.
That is
Liddy.
Absolutely.
I don't know what they say now. I've been out of
I heard somebody say, oh, I know who said Liddy. But after he said it, who said Liddy? After he said it, somebody else said it too, and I was like, oh, okay, now I know what that means. I mean, I know that it's good. I don't know what it means.
Like,
like lit. I've been out the game for a while. All right, so let's get into our first topic. Okay, so let me ask you, because we didn't actually name which one we want to go first. So which one do you want to do first? You want to do parenting, or you want to do breaking generational curses?
Let's do parenting first.
Okay.
And then I guess we can segue into...
And it actually kind of does follow
generational curses.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So parents, we're going to talk about parenting. Are you a good parent? Is your kid some good kids? Well, and now to just on a serious point, what different transitions do they make that may affect their behavior and may affect our parenting as well, right? So, we always talk about our kids anyway, but tell me, who is your most challenging child?
Because he challenges me is my youngest one, of course, and it's because he's very smart.
Too smart.
And he's very opinionated.
Too opinionated.
And he's going to get his point across, whether you want to hear it or not. At this point.
But he's not bad.
He's not bad. He's definitely not bad, but he needs to understand there's a time and a place for everything. And he'll be 5, but he's only 4, so he doesn't understand there's a time and place for everything, especially some of the things that he says or blurts or feels the need.
Led. Feels led.
Yes, by whoever is talking to him in his mind. and that's why he challenges me, because he's just he doesn't understand how smart he is. What about you?
My most challenging child? Ooh. I don't know. I think they're all challenging.
It's because they're older?
I don't know. I'm even thinking as a younger. Okay, as a younger child, because all my kids are older. As a younger child, Avion, my middle. As an older child, Ariel, hands down. Like, whoo, Jesus. Like, God has took us through some things. But Avion, when he was younger, because, which I'm going to say is probably starting off being my fault. As a single mom with 2 girls and a boy, and he's the middle child, and I had middle child syndrome because I was a middle child, so I knew how it felt. And the only boy, I kind of spoiled him a little bit, just in the sense of there were certain things I would allow him to do as far as our interactions that the girls couldn't do. Like if we're wrestling, girls, y'all know better when it comes to hitting me. Him, I'm gonna let you hit a little harder because there's no man here to teach you that thing. And not that I can teach you how to be a man, because I can't. Right. But I also didn't want him so caught up in the women lady gentleness that, you know, he don't know how to, you know.
There's like a time and a place to be hardcore. Like you can be macho. You don't have to be soft all the time.
Right, exactly. So, and then on top of it, he was me. So he was a crybaby. Like, so I got big eyes. If y'all haven't noticed, I have really big eyes.
You do.
He does too. So I always called him Puss in Boots because he'd be the one that when he cries. I
would have to show you a picture of my second child. He got big eyes. He had big eyes.
I did see that.
Yes, and so it's a picture of him about to cry. He's like,
we got the
and everybody will be like, I like you. Yes.
Yeah.
So if I always look you dead in your eyes because you got big eyes.
So he was the Puss in Boots kid. So it's kind of like, and then he also he's very he's probably most oftentimes my most mature. So Kizzy's stepping up there, but he's generally the one who's like, all right, well, this needs to be taken care of, so I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna, whatever. He's my most emotional. Again, he's probably the most spoiled. So he was my challenge. Now Ariel, she got older because she was the oldest, and she wanted to do things the way she wanted to do it. She became the most challenging.
Got you.
Because I've always been like, I will give you guys space to grow up because I prefer you to go through things and experience things with me than for me to completely shelter you. And then when you get out, you go, wow. Yeah. And then I can't, it's going to be harder for me to pull you back because you not telling me nothing. And, because I've always been just so strict. So I give them a little leash, It's not extremely long, but it's long enough for me to allow them to dip their toe in the water. So for that reason, she got a little challenging. So yeah.
My oldest one he's a breeze. He just from the time he came out, he was the easiest child ever. He didn't cry.
But you know what? That was her until she became a teenager. So she was about 15. Like, she, as a child, would make you want more children. She was so sweet. Like, even she slept all night when she was little.
Yes.
Like, she potty trained real quick.
Yes.
Like, everything was just like, oh, this is
amazing.
Yes.
This
and then
is
she hit an A.
awesome.
So it was like, you know what?
Was feeding herself like I think Caden was like the only one in his Head Start class at 3 could tie his shoe and everything. They were like, "Oh my gosh, he just knows." I say he's very observant. He doesn't say much, but he is watching.
Right. He's figuring it out.
Yeah, he's watching. It didn't take him long because he don't like to be frustrated. But he was just quiet and laid back, and so now I'm having to teach him to speak his mind.
Yeah.
Somebody does it for him.
Yeah. You got the one who's gonna say how he feels when he feels it. So yeah.
You're like, Khalil, I can introduce my own self. Gosh, I wasn't even talking to you.
Oh, that's good. So he's getting to learn the alternate side now, because if he don't,
somebody else is gonna speak for him. Yeah. So we are working on him speaking out.
Well, so although Ariel was quiet, Avion was the one who. No, Ariel wasn't quiet. Ariel was good. Ariel was talkative, but she was good. Avion was the quiet one. So he was the one, because he grew up. He had a speech issue. So Ariel spoke for him. Like, it was so. This made me feel like a bad parent. So he would say stuff, and me and his dad could not understand him. Like, he got to the point that he knew it though. So like, he'd say something. For instance, because this is one of our favorite phrases of his. Ma, oh tata. What? Oh tata. What? This is him saying, wait, what? He go get Ariel. Wah. Oh tata. He wants a Pop-Tart. Oh. Hold on.
That is Khalil.
Oh, really?
He'll be like, your baby said. Your baby ain't said nothing. At least, Ari was translating. Khalil be lying.
Speaking for everybody.
Blair did not say that.
The baby said what he wanted the baby to say.
So. He said he want his bottle. That's what he said. Like, no, he didn't.
Yeah, Ariel got so good at saying stuff for him. Like, it was just like she knew exactly what he said. And then
that's how it was with my youngest sister. Nobody could understand her, and they'll come get me. And we're 8 years apart, I believe. And they'll come get me. I'm like, oh, she just want this right here. And they'll be like, what?
Where did you get? Like, how did you get that out of what she said?
Like, that's what she wants.
Okay, so tell me, what would you say as a mother is either your funniest or most bad parent thing that you've done with one of your kids?
I think every parent has done this right here. You know, your kid be asleep, and you gotta pick them up and carry them to the room. You ain't ever hit that head?
Yeah, I've dropped mine a couple times.
Boom! I just knew I measured it out so well. And they'll never wake up though.
Right. No,
I tore their head up so many times. I saw poor babies.
So I would say mine, this isn't even an accident. I was so funny. Like, I thought I was funny. But I was also a young mother. So I had my first child when I was 17. I got pregnant when I was 16. I had her when I was 17. And she was my road dog. Like, Ariel was me and my sister would get in the car. We ride the block in the hood. Ariel be in the back seat just jamming.
That's why that my mama had.
But to the point that, like, if she couldn't sleep, we put her in a car. Like, we ride around. And so all three of my kids did this before. And every time I did this to them. So Ariel was the first one. So Ariel was mad at me one day and said, I see her in the room putting her stuffed animals in her little suitcase. We travel all the time, so she had her own little suitcase. I said, what are you doing? I hate it here. I'm running away. I said, okay. So I'm helping her now. I'm putting her blankets in her suitcase, whatever. So she zips up her little suitcase. Avion, at this time, I think Ariel was like 5 or 6. She had to be like 6, because Avion was like 2 or 3. So we walk out. Little underpass where the garage is. She's, I'm leaving. So she looks at me, Mommy, where's Tira? Now, Tiara is my sister. Where's Tira? I don't know. You didn't call her, Ariel, so she's probably not coming. She said, oh. So, all right, well, go ahead. She starts walking down the drive. Now, Avion, Mom!
devastated.
So she had her little roll bag. She rolled her bag down and she looks back. Mommy, like what? T was really not coming? No, baby, you didn't call her. Oh. So she rolls a little bit further, talking about, Mommy, what? Can I give you just one more hug? Yeah, come on, give me a hug. Give her a hug. She starts rolling. She gets to the end of the driveway. Cry, I'm crying out. She said, Mommy, do I have to leave? You want to run away.
And put you out.
Right, I put you out. I said, but next time you're going to think about it. You better make sure you get all your stuff in order first. Get back in the house.
Didn't he make a phone call to get picked up? You waiting on the curb.
Right. But
Ain't nobody coming.
yeah, Avion, when he did it, Ariel was old enough, and they were old enough to like walk down the street. There was a store down the street, so Ariel took her last little bit of money. They went to the corner store, and they bought a honey bun and some Gatorade. Because that was going to be her meal. I sent him out. I locked him out the house. I said, here, call your daddy, because his daddy was like 3 hours away. So, call your daddy, tell him you gotta come. Daddy, come get me. I'm leaving. He's like, baby, I can't come right now. I gotta work. So, you're not coming? No. I said, well, then you gonna sit out here on the porch. You're gonna wait till he gets here.
I'm gonna think, oh, Lord. Oh.
Well, now that I think about it, that was not nice.
I know a few folks that done got sat out on the porch.
Yeah, girl, I even one time, this is probably even worse. I was driving by these warehouses because I was going to pick up their dad, and Eric was acting out in the car. So I pulled this little cul-de-sac. I said, get out the car. I got out in the street. Crying. So I turned around, came back and said, are you going to be good? I said, get back in the car. Oh, that was terrible.
I ain't done that one yet. I just,
oh gosh, that was a terrible mom.
I have no earthly idea about children are different.
They are. I remember my mom told me one of the best punishments I ever did to Ariel. She was acting up. So I said, all right, I ain't gonna whip your butt. I said, go stand by the TV. So it's like, the couch is here, TV's right there. She stood by the TV facing me, so she could see me, but she couldn't see the TV. I turned on Disney Channel. She couldn't watch. She was crying.
She was having a fit, wasn't she?
Yeah. Like Kalia. I can't see it.
Please.
You can see her eyes trying to turn. I said, back up a little bit.
Now I had Khalil do some jumping jacks. Oh my gosh. First he thought it was fun. This is fun. This is fun, Mom. I said, oh, okay. I'm sitting there watching TV. I'm turning the channel. He was like, can I stop? I said, no. He was like, but wait a minute. I'm getting tired. I said, this have nothing to do with me. You having fun, remember?
Right.
After that, he looked like he was having the Holy Ghost. I said, flap them arms. Praise the Lord. You better call on him.
Right. Well, and that's
I can't. So, like, what is something that you didn't pass down from your parents as a parent?
A whole lot. So I can't say I started their whooping them, but then I stopped. So they started getting a chair.
What is the chair so people can know what the chair is?
Oh my gosh. So it's when you get up on the wall, your back against the wall, you don't have nothing to sit on, and you sit like this, and you gotta keep yourself up. And my kids want to lean. And I had to tell them, don't you fall. And I had to be like, don't you fall. So they scoot back up.
I don't think I've done that one yet. I don't think they're going to do it right yet.
Girl. No, so Kizzy, she started when she was 3. She'd get on the wall. She'd sit there and she'd cry. Say, oh, get up and count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Go back down. So she did like 20-second increments. Oh my goodness. Let me think. Oh no, you tell me. what's something you didn't pass down, and I can.
Not when my kids ask why, and like my mom used to be like, because I said so.
Okay, yeah. So
I don't do that. I will tell them because I'm doing something right now, or I explain to them, and then if they keep on, as Khalil would do,
he does.
I would say the conversation is over. Go have a seat.
Now, communication. That's what. Like it was. I said it, so do it. Or the parents are always right. So I didn't pass. That doesn't pass. They can come talk to me. Now there is a boundary. Like if you see I'm just that mad, you probably want to wait and then come back to me. But I want you to say how you feel in a respectable manner. Because how do we fix? Because I'm not always right. Like that whole thing that says kids never have stress, like there are times that there's no manual of being a parent,
right?
So we do mess up sometimes.
Probably a lot of times.
Yeah,
more than we want to admit.
Right. Even being a good parent doesn't mean you don't mess up,
right?
So that was one, the communication, being able to communicate how you feel to me, and me not, suddenly
shutting them down.
Shut down. I want you to know that you can come talk to me.
And that is why I do allow them to be so opinionated, because I prayed about that, because I wasn't opinionated. I was opinionated, but I couldn't voice it. It was, I don't know. I just like how I was I was considered a good child, right? But is being a good child because I didn't talk back, or it's because I didn't say something when I knew something was wrong.
Right.
Is that considered being a good child when I knew something was wrong, but it's an adult, so you can't say anything.
Well, and that starts with parents saying, because it may not have been your parents that was the wrong. It's another adult. But since you're already trained to say, well, it's an adult, don't you talk back to the adult? Don't you say nothing to an adult? Don't you? Then you kind of just train to.
Yep. And that's an adult. You do what they say. No, I don't tell my kids that. No. If you feel like an adult is in the wrong, you are to call me immediately. Let them know my phone number by heart. If you can't dial it on the thing, you tell them to call, and you make sure the numbers are on there, and you call me. And if I find out that you did not let my child call you, and they feel like you was in the wrong, it's gonna be me and you.
She said it's gonna be Katie from Decatur's gonna come up.
It's gonna be me and you. And even if it's just something small, and I can just be like, well, I don't believe it was meant, that way. Let them call.
So that way we can address it. As a parent, give them the opportunity to, because it's their right.
Yeah. So if
go to the person that they feel like protects them.
Yeah. Don't keep them from me. Oh Lord Jesus, I don't care who it is either.
Well, and it's important to build those type of situations. So let me tell you what me and Ariel discussed when she first entered high school. We came up with a code word. So if Ariel's out at a party and she texts me the code word, I don't ask questions.
You are to get her.
I'm coming.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because
my dad was like that with
me. What if I call you and so what happened? And she's still in that environment. Yeah. And then because she says, oh, nothing, Mom, I'm cool. And then I don't come. And then now she's in
trouble.
Right. So establish those things so your kids understand that you are there to protect them. Even if she's in the wrong. Even if I find out that, hey, you weren't even supposed to be at this place. I'm not even going to ask nothing. I'm just coming. We'll deal with whatever we
later.
Right, but right now my job is to get you into a safe situation
instead of call. Why you ladies? I just need you to come and get me right now.
Right,
like now before things get bad.
Right.
I had a situation one time with my dad. My dad had already told me if you are out anywhere and you need me to come and get you, I'm not asking. He already said I'm not asking no questions. You text me, at this time, we was able to text. You text me, and I'm coming. So I didn't have to, call. I was like, I sent the address. Come get me. I'm uncomfortable. And he came and got me. He did. He came straight and got me. He didn't ask no questions. It was a party. He just came and got me.
Right.
And I don't even know if he was. I think when I got in the car, he was like, "Well, you okay?" I was like, "Yeah." The vibe, like. Right. It was too many guys there, and it wasn't enough girls.
Yeah.
It was only a few of us, and it was too many guys. Come get me.
Right.
Y'all, if this is something that y'all do, do it on your time. Don't drag me in it because I'm not that.
Right.
And come get me. I was like, no.
Right. And I feel like those conversations need to happen. But this is the thing: is if you don't allow your kids to communicate with you, then they won't feel comfortable even making up a code word. Even if you make up a code word, if I feel like I'm potentially going to get in trouble before we even get to establish what happened, I'm probably not going to call you.
Right.
So it's important to understand that you need to be able to communicate and allow them to communicate. And then also, everybody, so this was one of my things. Just because somebody seems cool, because oftentimes when it comes to molestation, rape, touching on a child, it's generally someone close to them. So, and not to take it there, but if your child's saying something's up, doesn't mean it's always the case, but you better investigate.
Correctly.
Right. And even if that just means, then you don't need to be around my child alone.
Yeah, I think with my sons, I always tell them, like, when I watch them up, hey, nobody's supposed to touch you here, nobody's supposed to touch you there. What are you supposed to do if somebody touches you here or there? And they know. They was like, tell mommy. Yeah, tell me.
Right.
And I think, like, even like for that, that's why I was like, is a good child who doesn't say anything back considered? Why is that considered a good child?
Right.
Because if you can't express yourself to an adult, you end up in situations with like molestation and rape because I'm an adult, you can't tell nobody, and this is what you do.
Right.
That happened to me. So like, but I was considered a good kid because I didn't talk back.
Right.
And it took, I think I was 15 when I finally told my mama. That's when I felt comfortable to tell her. But I didn't think nothing was wrong with it because I was told to listen to an adult. So my kids,
right.
And I think that's why I'm so strict on if they y'all, I find out that you let my child call me, I'm gonna smile in my mugshot. I'm gonna tell y'all now. I'm gonna smile in it. I'm gonna have they gonna have everything they need financially. Whoever they go to be taken care of.
We still got this going. All right, so we are going to go on a quick break, and we will be back after these messages.
Tune in to Talk Uncensored every other Wednesday, 12 Central. I'm your host, Akayshia Estee.
I'm April Hogan.
And I'm DJ Ari.
And you can tune in on Instagram. You can tune in on Facebook. You can tune in on YouTube. And soon we will be on Roku TV.
Talk to you soon.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Talk Uncensored. So, I'm April Hogan.
I'm Akayshia Estee.
Because you may have just came on, so we just want to make sure.
I always want to introduce ourselves and make sure we make you guys comfortable.
Absolutely.
The new people.
Absolutely. So, our conversation before the break was Parenting 101. We kind of did some funny conversations about our kids, us as parents, and then we kind of started talking about some serious stuff, making sure that you create a safe space.
Yes, for your kids.
For your kids. And an understanding when it comes to knowing that they can come to you.
Period.
Right. Knowing that they need to be vocal. Right. There's a difference though. There's a difference in
respectfully.
Right.
Respectfully.
Right. But definitely they need to feel comfortable. You know that whole thing that says, I'm your parent, I'm not your friend. Actually, I am my kid's friend too. Like you can be both.
Just like be friends with them.
Just like with my husband, I can be his wife. And I can be his friend. Why can't I be?
You're supposed to be these multiple roles for these men. Why can't be multiple roles for the children?
For the childrens. So, yes, I am.
Tyrant.
Right. My daughter has told me, I don't know how many times, like, Mom, you are my best friend. So, and we can be that.
That is something that I want to break to. I need my children to understand that I'm just not their parent. Like, we road dogs. We in this together.
We are. Because then at the end of the day, like, honestly, and my kids always say this, now we have woot woot. Woot woot. All right? But they always say, well, Mama, it's always been us. But they understand, like, if nobody else, that woman got me.
Coming.
Right. Exactly.
Whatever you need.
Right. So this kind of takes us into our next conversation, which is breaking generational curses, in which we actually kind of touched on some of them when we're talking about the whole not being able to talk. Like, you remember the phrase went through almost all Black homes, what happens in this house stays in this house.
Yeah.
And although there is a level to that makes sense, right? Like, you need your kids, like, going and just, say, like, for instance.
Blurting all your business.
Right, blurting all your business.
All
like,
your business now. Come on.
Yesterday, mommy was wearing a pair of pink panties. Listen. But if you teach them that they cannot talk, then maybe, like, for instance, we talked about molestation or whatever. And although we want to be the safe haven, what if they don't feel comfortable talking to us because maybe they feel like they did something wrong, or they feel let down, or they let us down? So I would prefer you to tell somebody that you trust to tell me.
Exactly.
It's like it's supposed to be a village.
I did have one person, but my cousin was like, I was like, I don't know if I can tell my mama this, so I'm gonna just tell my cousin because I know she's gonna tell my mama, and then she's gonna, smooth it over.
Right. Honestly, when I was pregnant, although it's still in the house, this house stays in, it was still in the house. I did not tell my mama first. I told my sister. So my sister walked up because I got pregnant at 16. My sister went and got my mom. Mom came downstairs. She sat on my sister's bed across from my sister. She's like, "What is it?" And my sister's looking at me. She said, I forget what she asked her first. And she said, "You pregnant?" She said, "Mm-mm." She looked at me. She said, "You pregnant?" So, and she took it way better
Then you thought.
I guess at that point I'm pregnant. So
you can't get body slammed.
Right.
Can't get body slammed.
All right.
She going to jail.
Yeah. She handled it really well. Like, which even when I first started having sexual intercourse, another lady that I went to church with knew, and she told my mom. So my mom came down and sat. She's like, "So, have you been sexually active?" But she didn't react bad. Like, I didn't get beat. Or she's just like, "So how was it?"
What? I wouldn't know what to say. I would have been like,
no, so like, I said, "Well, I mean, it wasn't great." She's like, "Well, I probably shouldn't tell you this, but it gets better." I was like, "But we got to do some safety things to make sure, whatever." So, I would want to have someone. So, aside from that, I will say a generational curse that I generally talk about. Well, let's talk about some generational curses in our families, and then let's talk about generational curses in our community, culture. Yeah.
And in my family, let's see.
I'll tell you one for me is prison, drugs for the males. Almost every male on my dad's side dibbled and dabbled in some type of drug or went to jail. Not all of y'all. Don't take that offensive. I said almost. So, that's a generational curse. My brother actually beat it because he did not, has not, will not. So, my child will not. But it was a curse that was kind of, It
was known throughout the family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think for me, on my mama's side, I think it's more so marriage. Multiple. Like, when I get married, I just want to marry one person. I don't want to get a divorce and start over again.
It's sad.
I don't want to do that.
It is sad.
But I want to say on my dad's side is pretty much. I think he's married one time. He's been married. So. Yeah, that's the only wife that I know about. So I think once he got it, he stuck with it. So I'm like, once I'm telling you, I'm not doing it.
Just said the only way out is in the box.
It's in a box.
So okay.
Yeah, that's one thing that's always been major to me. I was like, I don't want to marry multiple times. I mean, not that it's horrible because things happen, but I just don't want to do that multiple times because. I think because it's so hard for me to start over. It's so hard for me to detach. It's so.
Well, let me tell you where that comes from, though, and I'm gonna say from experience because I've been married more than once. It's generally hopping in before you've taken the time to invest.
Got you.
The time, the energy, or feeling like there's an obligation. Because honestly, most of the time they say, well, the women's ticking time clock, they want to get married. My last marriage had nothing to do with me. I did not want to. It had everything to do with him. I felt pressure. I said no the first time.
We do feel pressure sometimes.
Right. Like, so.
But I have been engaged.
Mm-hmm.
Broke it.
Yeah.
Broke that ish. I was about to cuss. Broke it off.
Yeah, I'm working on that cursing. This episode I haven't cursed yet.
I'm working it off.
And then it's also understanding that in 5, 6, 7 years, you may not always like the person.
And people change.
Right, and people change. But it's also realizing that, and I just told my husband this the other day, probably like a week ago. I said, babe, I love you, but I'm choosing to love you. Because you're not going to always.
After a while, yes.
Yeah, you're not going to always just, I'm head over heels, I'm so in love with him.
Yeah, now it's a choice. Right. It's a commitment.
I'm choosing.
You're honoring.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm choosing that you are for me. I'm choosing that I'm not walking away. I'm choosing, and not that he was doing anything wrong at that time.
No,
like he could have been being great as he can be.
Exactly.
But
after a while,
yeah. I mean, like,
especially when you do things like out of habit.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm like doing things like practice to make sure like some things just stay fresh.
Yeah.
Because after a while, it's out of habit.
And you have to make it. You have to keep it fresh. If you don't keep it fresh, it's not gonna stay. It's not gonna stay fresh. Like a relationship is work. It's not just we're married now, we're together. You can't. You mine now. No. Like it's gotta stay. Okay, so generational.
But anyways, that's one curse that I want to break, and I already told you my kids being able to be vocal because we weren't allowed to be vocal. That was major for me because of the things that I went through as a child. What?
I know. Technical difficulties, you guys, but we're just gonna hope that it keeps on because we have more than one camera. So. Again, we say it's uncensored. It's not unscripted.
She said this thing. I said, what?
So culturally, I'll name one cultural one that I am actually being a finance coach. I talk about all the time. Generally, wealth is supposed to be passed down.
Yeah.
Our culture sees it backwards to where wealth should be passed up. Like, hey, now that you're a basketball player, you're making $1 million. Give mommy some money. Give daddy some money. Make sure the family is. When that's not how. If you look at how wealth goes, because it's like I'm passing it up, but you taking not that I'm not gonna take. Not that you shouldn't take care of
your people,
but it's like it's almost like then you're taking from what is supposed to go towards the next generation,
exactly,
to continue it going. Like so, that is one. Generational curse is the financial literacy and the definition and components of wealth. We aren't taught. We generally aren't taught because we don't know. So I can't say the reason my parents didn't teach me was like they just chose not to tell me, but it was something that they weren't taught.
I think I just wasn't taught.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. Like
because I was just told make sure you have good credit, but I was like, well, how do I have good credit? And you got good credit, but I needed to at least you didn't make me an authorized user.
Right.
You didn't. It's like certain things that they didn't do that they could have done,
prepare us for,
or to start it. Yeah, it just she's looking like that because of the camera.
The camera clicked out. What I don't understand is. Why it's saying it's full and we literally have all this space on it, but that's okay.
It's really like that because the camera closed.
So this is what we're gonna do because we actually need that camera. Like this one's okay, but that's our main camera. So we're gonna go on a quick break. We're gonna come back and we're gonna finish up our conversation, And then we're actually going to, which of course you'll see it before we do it. We're going to do a live. We're going to go live and talk a little bit. It's practice time, you guys. Get ready to see us live. But we'll be back.
We'll be back.
Right.
How prepared are you to cover unexpected expenses in a hardship? 60% of Americans have less than $1,000 to spend on out-of-pocket expenses. When an unexpected hardship arises, normal everyday expenses can become hard to manage. During these times, you can count on Hardship Safeguard. Hardship Safeguard provides cash benefits to pay expenses in an unexpected hardship, business decline, or loss of wages. See how we can help protect your family and business.
All right, hello everyone, and we're back. So I didn't even count down this time. We didn't really count down. I just came in, sat down, and we started. So,
Bam.
girl. All right, so we really only have about 5-10 minutes left anyway in the show because we're really trying not to go over our hour this time.
That's what's happening.
Right, it's reminding us like, all right, it's enough. So before we went to break, we were talking about finances.
Yes, in culturally.
Yes, the cultural generational curses that we have in our culture.
Credit and savings. So I started my kids' a savings account a couple of years ago to break one of the curses. So
Absolutely.
they got money.
Right. Well, and then even starting now,
They have a trust fund.
as I'm saying,
and all
like
that, too.
trust funds, savings bonds, like, and even understand them. So, like, I homeschool. So I was teaching my son the other day what a savings bond was. I was like, it's money, for all those who don't know, a savings bond is money that you loan to the government, and then the government pays it back with interest over a period of time, like years later. So he was like, oh,
My granny does stuff like that.
so well, I just do that then. So I also have them inside of that 7-figure transformation course. So they're actually taking it right now and learning. Like, so he took there's a little test in there to test your knowledge on certain financial terms. And I'm watching him take it. I'm like, don't you cheat. Don't you go on Google. Like, he said, but we're partners, so you can just tell me the answer. No. But it's we really aren't taught, like, the important, like, which is crazy, like, because the things we are taught, and I'm not just talking about school, but just in our households, that
They really aren't. It's not beneficial.
Right.
And it doesn't matter.
right, but we're not taught how to. This is like, I teach my child to put on the best makeup, but I'm not going to teach her about credit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not just using that as an example. Just understanding the importance of this is what they're going to need, and we know the schools don't teach it.
They're not. At all.
It's just crazy when you think about it, honey. Like,
Right.
like they don't.
But you know, I used to ask questions like that at school. How's this going to help me in life? I was kind of a little smart at, huh?
Yeah.
I was like, why are we doing this? Like, I'm just trying to figure out. And at the time, I just knew I was going to be doing it here anyway. I was like, I'm just trying to figure out how this is going to help me. I mean, I know how to count money.
Right. Well, and then like for me, so even like, so I play this game with my kids where they have to basically look like, it's like almost like I kicked you out the house. You got kicked out the house. I'm no longer around. I'm not helping you. You have to either decide to go to college or get a job. Get on Career Builder. Find you a job. How much is it paying? But you got to remember, if it says you want a bachelor's degree, all that, you can't get it unless you're going to college first. Then you got to consider student loans. Like, then once they figure out their thing, how much they're making, so go on Zillow, find you a house that you can afford. Now remember, this is how much you make. Mine is, they go through that. I give them scenarios that says, okay, you made it through this week. Now this week, you got a concert coming up. It costs $90 for a ticket. You also have these bills. You also got to get to work. You have a car payment. What are you going to do? Of course, my younger two like, I don't want to go to a concert. My Air's like, I want to go to the concert. So
She ready to go to the concert. I already knew she was going to be the one.
Right. Well,
She
even
like, I'm not going nowhere.
Even smart-wise, Avion and Kizzy got a house together. So they were splitting rent. Air didn't want to live with none of them. So you paying a full rent by yourself. She didn't want to get a car because she said, it's too much. I'm just going to get a bus pass.
Oh, Lord.
But yeah.
They know, though.
Right. So teaching them, like, this is for real.
This is real life. You are preparing them for what's on the outside world, and we get thrown to the wolves.
Yeah.
You get 18, you got to get an apartment.
Yeah, well, yeah. In most families, that is a generational curse.
Yeah. You
saying that now that you're 18.
Mom really didn't put me out. I think I was just like,
Probably like Ariel was ready to go.
I live. Like, but
I
was also, for me, I was pretty much I was pretty good financially. Like, I had already knew how to save. Now, to the extent that I save now, no. But I always had some money put up for, just in case some things, or something that I might have wanted to do. So I taught myself that. Nobody taught me, I was always looking for change in the couches anyway, so.
So I had a child. So I was ready to go for that reason. Like, my mom didn't say I had to go. I think she actually was offended when I was ready to go. Because
Mama was.
Yeah, the first time we tried to get an apartment, we didn't get it.
But it wasn't explained.
Yeah.
Like, why you shouldn't go.
Yeah, we didn't end up getting it because my sister told my mom and she wasn't happy about it. So then the second time, she gave us her blessing. But initially, no, she wasn't. But if Ariel said today she was moving out, I necessarily would not be happy about it. I would tell her it's not wise. You're not ready. Like, right now you get to tackle the world with the roof over your head. Then when you move out, you're not gonna have that same situation. So, just take your time. Yeah.
But I think it's from also that knowing that the outside world says you're grown at 18.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So then you automatically start thinking, well, if I don't go to college, I got to get a job, and then I got to get
right.
That's what all this craziness comes from, and it ain't even got to be told or taught in your household because there's nothing really being said.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're just taking what you hear from the streets.
Right.
That when I get 18, I got to get an apartment because I don't, I'm not doing this, or I'm not doing that, or I know I'm gonna have to go to school. So if I'm going to school, how am I going to do, X, Y, and Z?
Right.
So you just automatically start thinking different things if it's not being discussed in your household.
Right. So yeah, that is important. And parents realize that 18 doesn't mean you no longer have to take care of them. Like, parenting doesn't stop at 18. Parenting continues.
Because now you got to teach them how to live.
Heck,
school is not teaching
30, 35,
people
40.
How to live. We're still learning.
You're still
you're still learning.
Yeah.
And so if you still learning, don't put these children out here and set them up for failure. Because that's what you're doing.
Sink or swim. Like, you
can't have them sink or swim.
Right.
And if you don't know, find somebody who do know. You know somebody that knows something. You be around people.
And we do have the hard-headed teens that just say, okay, no, I'm gone.
Yeah, you pray for them. They'll be back.
Yeah.
And when they come back, don't scold them. Teach them.
Right. Teach them. Absolutely. We over there. We were all at the point where, like, I'm over this. I don't want to live under my mama's rules. I don't want to. But that's just.
Here we are in our 30s. Want to go? I was like,
I would give up.
I would stay with my mom.
I would give up. I probably would stay with my mom.
My mom can stay with me. Just because. Mama, you can stay with me. I already told her.
Just because.
She have her own little.
I like my private space, right?
She can have her own space downstairs with a garage.
If we had a big enough house, we could probably
live
on the same acres. Like, I think we should do.
Because I don't want to know what she got going on.
So I wrote this poem. It's funny we talk about this. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but part of it. It says, deep inside, I still feel like a child. Wide open, naive, and underqualified. Not sure why the age 18 or even 35 is a proper age to be certified. To be considered an adult? Who came up with this? They clearly lied. Walking through this life, just supposed to make decisions with no manual, and things go crazy, you're expected to be able to handle them. That's as far as I'm going to go. But
no, for real.
This was a time like that. But that's true. Like,
so true.
Sometimes I'm still like, someone told me the other day, my daddy told me the other day, because he called on my birthday. My birthday was August 6th. So when he called, he said, you nearing 40. First of all, Dad. But I don't feel like it.
Yeah.
Like, I still feel like I could be, like, I was just in the house with my mom and them not too long ago.
No, for real.
I'm still trying to figure this stuff out. So, yes, it is important. And y'all, I'm looking this way because I keep looking at the clock. So it's time for us to.
Girl, you got some eyes on you because I cannot see that time down there.
They are.
I got on glasses.
It's 57, 53, 54, 55.
What?
These big old eyes. That's always my excuse to my kids when they say, "You saw that? How How am I not gonna see with these big old?
At least they fit your face.
Right, well, that's good. That is good. Yeah. So that being the case, we would like to hear your feedback. What are some of your generational curses? What are some things?
How are you breaking them?
Yes. What are you doing to break them? Because that's important. There may be someone who needs to hear how you broke them, so that way they can work.
That's the village part. Pass it on.
Right, y'all. We're supposed to be a village. So, with that being said, we want to thank you for watching not just this episode, but all the episodes. If you haven't watched them, we're thanking you. So go back and watch them. Yes, and the new ones to come, and be looking forward because we're almost at the place where our Roku is going to be live. We have to have our certain amount of episodes because it makes no sense to have a Roku TV channel with one episode, right? Doesn't make any sense. On top of that, if you're interested in hosting a show, hit us up. If you're interested in having a show you already have on our Roku channel, hit us up. All right? If you're interested in having your commercial, hit us up. Make sure you check us out on Instagram and Facebook at Talk Uncensored Podcast. Also on TikTok at Talk Uncensored Podcast. We do have a Twitter, but we don't really use it. Just being honest.
We need somebody to work the Twitter for
at some point, right? And we are looking for volunteers. So if you want to come and learn,
to have you.
Absolutely, learn how to run the show. You know, this will help you later with stuff that you potentially want to do. Then again, hit us up, and then you can also email us at talkuncensoredpodcast@gmail.com. Do you have anything else? Well, that's it for today, and we will see you guys next time here on Talk Uncensored.
Peace.
Bye.